Thank you, Ministers. I request the Ministers to stay on. The next exchange is also by the Ministers. This is the Memorandum of Understanding between the Government of Republic of India and the Government of Republic of Angola on cooperation in the field of Ayurveda and other traditional systems of medicine. Thank you, Ministers. Thank you, sir. Next, we have the exchange of the cooperation program between the Government of Republic of India and the Government of Republic of Angola in the domain of culture for the period 2025-29. This will be exchanged on the Angolan side by His Excellency Clement Kamemba, the Ambassador of Republic of Angola to India, and on the Indian side by Shri Damu Ravi, Secretary ER-MEA. We request the Secretary and the Ambassadors to stay on. We next have the handing over of the International Solar Alliance Framework Agreement. This will be handed over by His Excellency Clement Kamemba, the Ambassador of the Republic of Angola, and be received by Shri Damu Ravi, Secretary ER, Ministry of External Affairs. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the exchange ceremony. I now request the spokesperson of Ministry of External Affairs to conduct the remainder of the proceedings.
Namaskar. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, Mr. João Manuel Gonzalez Lourenço, President of the Republic of Angola, Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, Honorable Ministers, members of both delegations, and friends from the India. We will now have the press statements. May I request Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, to give his remarks to the media.
Your Excellency,
President
Lourenço, दोनों देशों के डेलीगेट्स, मीडिया के सभी साथी, नमस्कार। मैं बिंदु, मैं राष्ट्रपति लॉरेंसो और उनके डेलीगेशन का भारत में हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं। यह एक ऐतिहासिक पल है। 38 वर्षों के बाद अंगोला के राष्ट्रपति की भारत यात्रा हो रही है। उनकी इस यात्रा से न केवल भारत अंगोला संबंधों को नई दिशा और गति मिल रही है, बल्कि भारत और अफ्रीका साझेदारी को भी बल मिल रहा है। फ्रेंड्स, इस वर्ष भारत और अंगोला अपने राजनयिक संबंधों की 40वीं वर्षगांठ मना रहे हैं, लेकिन हमारे संबंध उससे भी बहुत पुराने हैं, बहुत गहरे हैं। जब अंगोला फ्रीडम के लिए फाइट कर रहा था, तो भारत भी पूरी फेथ और फ्रेंडशिप के साथ खड़ा था। फ्रेंड्स, आज विभिन्न क्षेत्रों में हमारा घनिष्ठ सहयोग है। भारत अंगोला के तेल और गैस के सबसे बड़े खरीदारों में से एक है। हमने अपनी एनर्जी साझेदारी को व्यापक बनाने का निर्णय लिया है। मुझे यह घोषणा करते हुए खुशी है कि अंगोला की सेनाओं के आधुनिकीकरण के लिए $200 मिलियन की डिफेंस क्रेडिट लाइन को स्वीकृति दी गई है। रक्षा प्लेटफॉर्म्स के रिपेयर और ओवरहॉल और सप्लाई पर भी बात हुई है। अंगोला की सशस्त्र सेनाओं की ट्रेनिंग में सहयोग करने में हमें खुशी होगी। अपनी विकास साझेदारी को आगे बढ़ाते हुए हम डिजिटल पब्लिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, स्पेस टेक्नोलॉजी और कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग में अंगोला के साथ अपनी क्षमताएं साझा करेंगे। आज हमने हेल्थ केयर, डायमंड प्रोसेसिंग, फर्टिलाइजर और क्रिटिकल मिनरल क्षेत्रों में भी अपने संबंधों को और मजबूत करने का निर्णय लिया है। अंगोला में योग और बॉलीवुड की लोकप्रियता हमारे सांस्कृतिक संबंधों की मजबूती का प्रतीक है। अपने पीपल टू पीपल संबंधों को बल देने के लिए हमने अपने युवाओं के बीच यूथ एक्सचेंज प्रोग्राम शुरू करने का निर्णय लिया है। फ्रेंड्स, इंटरनेशनल सोलर अलायंस से जुड़ने के अंगोला के निर्णय का हम स्वागत करते हैं। हमने अंगोला को भारत की पहल कोएलिशन फॉर डिजास्टर रेजिलिएंट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, बिग कैट अलायंस और ग्लोबल बायोफ्यूल अलायंस से भी जुड़ने के लिए आमंत्रित किया है। फ्रेंड्स, हम एक मत है कि आतंकवाद मानवता के लिए सबसे बड़ा खतरा है। पहलगाम में हुए आतंकी हमले में मारे गए लोगों के प्रति राष्ट्रपति लॉरेंसो और अंगोला की संवेदनाओं के लिए मैं उनका आभार व्यक्त किया। वी आर कमिटेड टू टेक फर्म एंड डिसिसिव एक्शन अगेंस्ट टेररिस्ट एंड दोज हु सपोर्ट देम। We thank Angola for their support in our fight against cross-border terrorism. Friends, 140 करोड़ भारतीयों की ओर से मैं अंगोला को अफ्रीकन यूनियन की अध्यक्षता के लिए शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। हमारे लिए यह गौरव की बात है कि भारत की G20 अध्यक्षता के दौरान अफ्रीकन यूनियन को G20 की स्थायी सदस्यता मिली। भारत और अफ्रीका के देशों ने कॉलोनियल रूल के खिलाफ एक सूर में आवाज उठाई थी, एक दूसरे को प्रेरित किया था। आज हम ग्लोबल साउथ के हितों, उनकी आशाओं, अपेक्षाओं और आकांक्षाओं की आवाज बनकर एक साथ खड़े रहे हैं। पिछले एक दशक में अफ्रीका के देशों के साथ हमारे सहयोग में गति आई है। हमारा आपसी व्यापार लगभग $100 बिलियन हो गया है। रक्षा सहयोग और मैरीटाइम सिक्योरिटी पर प्रगति हुई है। पिछले महीने भारत और अफ्रीका के बीच पहली नेवल मैरीटाइम एक्सरसाइज एक्यूम की गई है। पिछले 10 वर्षों में हमने अफ्रीका में 17 नई एम्बेसीज खोली है। $12 बिलियन से अधिक की क्रेडिट लाइंस अफ्रीका के लिए आवंटित की गई है। साथ ही अफ्रीका के देशों को $700 मिलियन की ग्रांट सहायता दी गई है। अफ्रीका के 8 देशों में वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग सेंटर खोले गए हैं। अफ्रीका के 5 देशों के साथ हम डिजिटल पब्लिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में सहयोग कर रहे हैं। किसी भी आपदा में हमें अफ्रीका के लोगों के साथ कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर फर्स्ट रिस्पॉन्डर की भूमिका अदा करने का सौभाग्य मिला है। भारत और अफ्रीकन यूनियन, वी आर पार्टनर्स इन प्रोग्रेस, वी आर पिलर्स ऑफ द ग्लोबल साउथ। मुझे विश्वास है कि अंगोला की अध्यक्षता में भारत और अफ्रीकन यूनियन के संबंध नई ऊंचाइयां हासिल करेंगे। एक्सेलेंसी, एक बार फिर मैं आपका और आपके डेलीगेशन का भारत में हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। Obrigado.
Thank you, sir. May I now request His Excellency Mr. João Manuel Gonzalez Lourenço, President of the Republic of Angola, to give his remarks to the media.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, all Your Excellency Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of the Republic of India, distinguished members of the Indian and Angolan delegation, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me, first and foremost, to thank the very gracious words that Your Excellency has addressed to us and express our gratitude for the hospitality that has been accorded to us since our arrival in this beautiful city of New Delhi, where we see reflected the rich and vast culture of the Indian people who have welcomed us with the warmth and cordiality which is their hallmark. This state visit, the first I undertake to your country, takes place 38 years after President José Eduardo Santos visited India at a time when Angola was grappling with a long conflict that significantly constrained the achievement of the development goals which we would have begun to realize within the framework of cooperation with your great country. Today, circumstances have changed. We enjoy peace within the context of democracy that continue to consolidate itself, opening up far broader prospects for exchange between the Republic of Angola and India, whose potential of both our nations, when combined, can help establish a significantly expanded foundation for business opportunities, commercial exchanges, institutional cooperation and investments in the economies of our respective countries and other domains that we may identify. I've come to India to convey, amongst other aspects, a message of admiration and friendship that we hold with your country, whose history is rich in events that have made it a cultural, scientific, technological, political reference on a global stage. I've also come to India with the intention of showcasing a new vision for the relations between our countries, grounded on the concrete and achievable objectives with practical results that will help transform, even in our own time, the daily lives of our respective peoples and countries. Honorable Prime Minister, Excellencies, when we reflect upon what has been accomplished since the establishment of relations between our respective countries, as well as what remains to be done and what may yet be achieved, we observe a gap in accomplishments that we both have the need and are able to bridge, taking into account the human, material and other resources at our disposal. It is from this perspective that the Angolan side will seek to address during the bilateral discussions our main interest in the cooperation with India, placing particular emphasis on the sectors such as agriculture to promote food security, finance, health, defense, higher education, information technologies, energy, industry and trade, and mineral resources, oil and gas, with expectation that at the end of our deliberation we may affirm that our efforts have been worthwhile in light of results achieved, since these domains constitute the foundation upon which the entire economic and social development program of Angola will rest, for which we count most especially on the participation of India. In this regard, I would like to underscore the significance we attach to the direct participation of Indian investors in the Angolan economy, which hold a considerable growth potential and offers conditions that render it attractive, because we are endowed with a valuable asset, which is a young population marked by vigor and the capacity to assimilate new knowledge which can be harnessed in the service of entrepreneurs who look for Angola as a destination for their investments and business ventures. These ideas may become a tangible reality in the short and medium term, as there is political will that inspires us to undertake projects of mutual benefits, for which it is essential to mobilize the necessary financial resources. I therefore would like to welcome the availability and the openness of your country to the creation of an investment fund with a view to encourage Indian entrepreneurs to invest in sectors of their interest in Angola, as well as the establishment of an export credit line. It is important to underscore the fact that the signing of considerable number of legal instruments has happened, which will enable the resumption and strengthening of bilateral cooperation following the prolonged period of stagnation since the signing of the General Agreement on Economic, Technical, Scientific and Cultural Cooperation on 4th October 1986, up to the convening of the first session of the Angola-India Bilateral Commission in September 2020, and the activation of the political and the diplomatic consultation mechanism between our two countries on the 11th of August 2023. This renewal of contacts, which took place during a critical period in the recent history of humanity, when the COVID-19 pandemic on one hand restricted contacts between peoples and nations on a global scale, but on the other hand, it was precisely in this challenging period that we came together once again to discuss our perspectives, our interests, our visions for the future, as well as the challenges, the common challenges for Africa, in particular, we're facing at the time confronting an unprecedented phenomenon in which your country played a prominent role through its contribution to the African continent, especially with the donation of vaccines that have proven essential in the effort to contain the spread of the disease. Your Excellency Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Your Excellencies, in this engagement between two countries of global south from different regions of the world, yet of undeniable strategic importance, we are compelled to address issues pertaining to the current international landscape, given their complexity and the threats they represent. I am firmly convinced that we share the same principles and common perspectives regarding the need to contribute to the reconstruction of a new world order by restoring to the United Nations and all its bodies the central role in seeking for solutions through dialogue, which may contribute to reducing the current tensions that generate political instability, humanitarian crisis, and market uncertainties, with grave repercussions for the global trade and consequently for the food and energy security of countries on a worldwide scale. All these facts underscore the primacy of multilateralism over the perspectives advanced by groups of countries that regard themselves as sufficiently powerful and are entitled to impose development models and solutions to which all others must submit. This scenario tends to underestimate international law as the framework that must continue to be globally accepted for resolving the conflict in the Middle East on the basis of the relevant United Nations Security Council resolution that set forth the establishment of the State of Palestine, as well as the conflict unfolding in Ukraine and other regions of the world, notably in Africa, where we are concerned about the war in Sudan, in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and the chronic instability that has prevailed for years in the Sahel region in Africa. Thank you very much, Honorable Prime Minister, and thank you everyone present.
Thank you, sir. That concludes the press statements. Thank you for your presence, ladies and gentlemen.